Alrighty, tidy, lefty loosey. So today we're going over EPS's version 2, version 3 cylinder heads. For starters, I'll be going over why I really like these cylinder heads and why I put them in most version 2, version 3 airsoft gun builds, and why you should consider this cylinder head for your next build. So for starters, it's made out of duralumin and has a nickel PTFE coating throughout the entire cylinder head, including the nozzle itself. So basically, it's a lightweight aircraft grade aluminum core with self-lubricating ultra slick coating, so you get less friction, better air seal, and the parts last longer. And the next feature that I really like about these cylinder heads is that you'll notice these two holes here. These are set screw holes, and what they do is that you run the set screw through the hole, and the set screw presses against the gearbox cylinder head lugs. These guys. So basically what it does is that as you screw in the set screw, the cylinder head pushes forward like this, and then you get it to the point where it pushes up the gearbox just enough that the cylinder head will hold itself in the gearbox shell, and you can hold it like this and the cylinder head won't fall out. And what that does is that, and this is for demonstration purposes to show you what I mean, let's say I have the set screw in there, your stem won't move up and down, which means that these cylinder heads are super universal. Other brands of gearbox shells and using different cylinder heads that wobble up and down is a thing of the past when it comes to these cylinder heads, since they fit version 2, version 3 gearbox shells. And why would you want to make your cylinder head so it doesn't tilt up and down? Well, when your BBs enter the hop-up chamber, they push up on the nozzle and cause nozzle misalignment, and therefore your EPeS will be a little inconsistent because, well, the nozzle's not centered with your bucking anymore, or not as much as it should, given that you have a nozzle that doesn't wobble on the nozzle, which EPeS also makes nozzles for these things with the same material. That this coating is extremely durable, way more durable than the anodization that you see on other cylinder heads that do wear off over time. This coating is ridiculously durable, as I put in many builds and stress test the crap out of them. And I'll just put it this way, the nozzles, the coating is more durable than like max hop-up units. There's been some cases where I accidentally had the gearbox slightly misaligned, and the nozzle actually dug into the aluminum of the max hop-up. No damage to the nozzle, but the metal on the freaking hop-up, the anodization was stripped away, and even some of the metal was dug out. That's how strong this coating is. I'm going to show you guys how well this fits, but before I do that, I also want to let you know that there's different variants of the cylinder head coming out for the M14, the P90, and I even bugged EPeS about making an SVD cylinder head, and I really hope they do make a SVD cylinder head, because that would be even better, especially for like the real sword and the SEMAs. But anyways, you can get different version 2, version 3 of these cylinder heads with different pads and different stem lengths. For example, there's one with no pads, so you can put whatever pad you want on there if you have a preference, or you can get EPeS's different variety of pads. Whatever works for you. And the stems come in different lengths. So right here, I have one of their older Mark IIs. This is their old coating. This is their HPTFE, which is not as durable as this, but still pretty damn durable. But anyways, you can see that the nozzle is a bit longer. I like to use these extra longs for like replicas like the ANKM 249 Featherweight, which use really long nozzles, because the longer your stem, the more stable your nozzle will be when it's in the extended position, so it doesn't wobble as much. You reduce that wobble, you eliminate a lot of mid-cap syndrome. So that was extra long. This is long. So I like to put these in replicas like the SR25, who use like 24mm nozzles for that extra stability. But I sell these different stem lengths and the 70-degree shoring pads on my website, wyshtech.com, if you want to pick up one of these. When these are installed correctly, they are amazing. Another feature is that this facing right here is about 1mm back more than other cylinder heads, and what that gives you is the ability to have your template plate come back, stroke back another millimeter more. And what that does is that it allows you to stroke back, if you need to, your template plate 1mm further back in case you have like for example, your nozzle is just too long for whatever reason, and that 1mm is probably all you need to get that BB to feed into the chamber. I made a video of compression tips, and I'll leave that link to that in the description down below. I highly recommend watching that video after this. But anyways, so when it comes to their pads, their 70-degree shoring is typically used for springs up to SP 130 strength. I like to use them all the way up to an M140, which is about the same, and have no issues. 70-degree usually works on 90% of builds, so that's what I keep on my website. And if you just want to use something that is more your preference as far as the pad goes, like I said, I do sell ones without the pad. Now, as far as what comes in the packaging, of course, you get the cylinder head and 2 different sets of set screws, and then this little brass ring right here. So the set screws, there's 2 different lengths. The silver ones are shorter than the black ones. I usually find that using the black ones is more ideal, and you want to Loctite them in once you get them set. And I'll show you how to install this here in a little bit. But anyways, and then the brass ring, this is optional. You don't have to use this brass ring, and what it's for is your sector gear. It goes right over this tappet plate pin. And what it does is that it makes the tappet plate stroke back further by the thickness of this brass ring, which is about 1 millimeter, which is why they developed these cylinder heads to have that much more spacing. But you do need to modify your cylinder if you're going to use it, because what ends up happening is I'm using this brass cylinder and I got it all the way forward as if I was getting ready to install it. And you'll notice there's a little lip there. If you're going to use that extra stroke, you do need to trim your cylinder by 1 millimeter right below it so that your tappet plate clears your cylinder and doesn't hit the cylinder when you're using that brass ring, and it gets pulled back that 1 extra millimeter. You don't have to use it. You only need to use that if you need your tappet plate to pull back that much further, if that makes any sense. Now, as far as that goes, if you have any other questions, I do recommend joining my Discord channel and going to help channel and ask more complicated questions if this video doesn't answer the questions you may have. So now I'm going to show you how to install it. What I usually do is I get an idea of what set screws I need to use, so I'll get them out of the bag. I do what's called a dry fit. Start with the short ones. You'll need a 1.5 millimeter Allen. I do one side at a time. I don't put Loctite in there. This is just to figure out which length of set screw I need. So I'll start screwing it in. I'm going to screw it in until you see the set screw poking out a little bit in the hole, gearbox lug hole. And you'll push it in. Okay, so it's not dropping down all the way, so I'll just back it out a little bit. So I made the set screw go this way a little bit. I'll drop it down, still wobbles a little bit. I'm tightening it back down, so I'm making it go back this way. I'm just gonna give it like let's do a full turn. That was too much actually, because now it's right back to where it was. Back it up a little bit. Nope, do a quarter turn. I'll just keep going back and forth until I feel that this cylinder head, you want it just right. Just enough where it grabs onto that lug. I'm almost there, so I'm turning it back like a tiny bit. I would say maybe a tenth of a turn. That was just a hair. Oh. Even that hair was a little bit too much, so you can do a tiny bit back. There we go. I'll try it again. You want to feel it grab that lug. It's a lot easier when you have Loctite in there, but there we go. So if your cylinder head's staying in there like this, you got it. You don't want your cylinder in here, because then you defeat the purpose of even doing this process. But as you can see, I could still pull it out, push it back in, doesn't fall out. Then you want to look and see how many threads deep that is in there, and that's pretty damn deep. I think the black screws will fit better. So I'm going to back this all the way out and do the same process again, but this time with the black screw. What you don't want is your set screw to poke out this way. You want it to be under the flat face surface of your cylinder head here. Just poking through just barely. Right now the black screw is about, I think it looks flush with this, maybe a little bit under, so I think we're good. So let's see how she fits. And it's not letting me drop it down. It's almost there though. Back it off a tiny bit. It wiggles a little bit. I kind of don't like that. I'm running my finger across to see if I feel that set screw poking out. Like I said, we don't want that, but I think we're good. There we go. Okay, so we want to use the black screws. So I'm basically going to take this all the way out and put Loctite on it. You only need to use blue Loctite. I'll show you the stuff that I use. I just use it, just plain old blue Loctite, nothing special. I'll just get a little bit in there. I'll also go ahead and put some in the other hole so that it starts curing while it sits in there, while I'm getting those set screws adjusted. I like to take a pick, clean it off real good, make sure I get all that Loctite in those threads. If you have any excess Loctite, I use a Q-tip just to get the excess out. Give it like a tiny turn. The reason why I'm using the longer screws is because I want to get as much Loctite on those threads as I can. The more you got there in there, the less likely your screw is going to back out over time. So there's that side done. Now I'll just repeat this exact process for the other side of the gearbox shell. Okay, so I got the other side done, and the final check before you put everything all back together is just to grab your stem here, and it should not move up and down at all. And in this case, I'm actually putting quite a bit of pressure on this, and it ain't moving. That's how you know you got it just right. So as long as your cylinder head comes out, then you can just pull it out, and it can support itself while you hold the gearbox shell up in the air. You know you got that right. So as far as nozzles go, there's a wide variety of different lengths that you can get for these cylinder heads by EPeS, and I have them on my website. I highly recommend pairing them with the cylinder head because one, the coating's durable as hell. Two, paired with the cylinder head, there's like almost no wobble. So here's one of their nozzles. You can see that it just looks clean. And they have O-rings spaced apart from each other to help stabilize the O-ring further and retain more grease so your O-rings never dry out. But put a little bit of grease on this nozzle because it's definitely needed. And they even bevel the tip to make it easier to put their nozzles in. But if I have it all the way out, I'm actually trying to wobble it. Very, very little movement. This will help tremendously with mid-cap syndrome if you have it, as well as keep your FPS more consistent. You can also use Airsoft Mutation's EPN nozzles on these cylinder heads. They work just fine. They have very little movement on these cylinder heads as well. But that's all I have for you guys for today. If you have any questions, like I said, check out the Discord channel or just leave a comment down below. And if there's anything that you'd like me to cover in the future videos, let me know. And with that, I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.